my friends, and welcome to the Mindful Making YouTube channel. In this video we will talk about what has been on my needles since we last spoke, and with needles I mean knitting needles, of course, because the Mindful Making channel is all about that sense of grounding and the sense of calm that making with our hands gives us. So welcome. My name is Jane, and this video is recorded on Friday, I have to look, 17th of January 2025. I am recording from Isla, which is a suburb north of Copenhagen in Denmark. It is winter, but the temperatures have risen, so we are at around 6-7 degrees outside. We did have some snow and some colder weather, as you would have seen in the intro video. We were out for beautiful walks in the forest and watched all the beautiful scenery. Now the scenery is still beautiful and a tad warmer. I actually went out for a walk yesterday with my winter gear on, and it was way too much. So probably have to look for a lighter jacket or some thinner woolen garments. But anyway, we are enjoying it here. I am enjoying being home tremendously. You can find everything about me and my projects and my knitting and my designs. You can find that on my web page, which is called mindfulmaking.com.au. And links to everything that I talk about today you can find in the show notes, which are linked below in the description box. I think that's it for the admin part. So let's just jump into the knitting content. Before that, I will just have a sip of coffee, and I hope you have something very nice in your cup or in your glass or whatever you fancy. So cheers. As per usual, let's just start with what I'm wearing, and this is the Gumnut cardigan. If you have watched any of the previous videos, you would have seen it. It was a pattern I released earlier in the year, I'm about to say, or last year during 24. And it is a woolen jumper or a cardigan. It is knitted out of Coast Super Soft held together with Titicaca. And the colorways are silver gray in both of those yarns. It is worked on a needle size 4mm, a US 6. The feature are these, what I call gumnuts up here, which are slip stitches, and they are worked by adding a black, in this case, a contrast color to the two strands of the main color, and working this patterning at the yoke. The neckline, it starts at the top, so it's worked top down flat, because the button bands are worked with the jumper. So you basically knit these before you move into the this is mirrored. So it's really challenging for the brain, I'm just saying. But what I wanted to say is that the button bands are worked at the same time as the jumper. They are worked on a slightly smaller needle, just to give a bit of more sort of solid texture on them, and which also means that we can get the vertical stripes in the twisted rib on the button bands. I have found these cute buttons here, silver, plastic silver basically, at the Bendigo Woolen Mills, where there was a stall called Push My Buttons that sold vintage or older buttons, and I found these pretty buttons. The pattern, the Gumnut cardigan, is available on my web shop, mindfulmaking.com.au, and also on Ravelry. So that is what I'm wearing. It's nice and warm, but you know, with the cardigan, it's sort of easy to air out a bit should that be needed. What I've been working on since we last spoke. Well, last time was the last video was recorded in December, so before Christmas. So that was all about the Christmas gifts that I've knitted up, and one of them was the zipper light by a design by Petite Knit, and I knitted this up for my younger son. In the last video you would see it's almost finished, and here I insert the picture of my son wearing the jumper after I added a bit of the length to the body and to both sleeves. So after handing over the present, I got it back, and I ribbed back the ribbing at the cuffs and the hem, and added some length and reknitted the ribbings. So he is now happily wearing his jumper, and he has worn it a lot and is very happy about it. I also was knitting up a second zipper light for my older son, and that was also gifted with needles in and all at Christmas Eve, because it was only around here. I had just split it for sleeves at that time, so that was also sort of handed back for me to continue. And I got a fair bit over the Christmas holiday, and I think it was just after New Year we went to visit my older son, and he tried on the jumper. I had knitted the full body and the sleeve, as you can see on the picture here, and it turned out it was too big for him. It was too, you know, there was way too much fabric in the body. The raglan was too deep, and yeah. And of course I should have tried it on him Christmas Eve when I just had it up here at the separation for sleeves, but I didn't. Well, so I was then contemplating, should I frog and reknit, or should I try to put it in the washing machine and maybe in the tumble dryer just to shrink it a bit. I decided to frog. So as you can see here, we are back at the starting point at the Christmas time. I'm about to say bookmark. And lovely balls of beautiful yarn ready to be reknit. So of course that is what I have been working on, and hopefully, well, he has tried it on after I then separated for sleeves again. I unraveled up here to where the zipper will be inserted. So the body is done. Yesterday I actually bound the hem off with the Italian bind off. It took a day. That was all I did yesterday, but the finish is just beautiful, as you would know. Hopefully that comes up if I don't look in the camera. And this will be much better. Now it's just onto the sleeves, knitting through them, and it will be done. And then the zipper goes in. I have heard many having difficulties with inserting the zipper. I didn't find it that difficult. What I do is that I insert a cutting board in between the layers, so I have something to, or just like a bench underneath where the needles go in, and I don't interfere and I don't catch the back side or the back of the jumper. And then I just calmly work through one side, starting at the front and then the other side, and having it match so that the neckline here aligns, the ribbing here aligns next to each other. That is the most important thing. Thereafter, when the front is pinned down, I think I sewed it down, and then I did the back. These sort of inserts here, where these stitches that are paused or just sitting idle here will be knitted down. And it worked out very well. I'm happy with the first jumper. This will be as beautiful, and I'm almost where I was when I started frogging. And it will be ready for my son when he returns from his holiday. He's currently off to Australia with his siblings. So it will be done when he's back home early February. The yarn here is that's again the Super Soft by Holst. It is the colorway Graphite, and it's 2 strands held together. I knit this on a 4.5mm needle, so a US 7. The instructions in the patterns say a 4mm needle. I wanted this fabric a bit more air and a bit more lightness to it. And of course that would also then increase. So basically the previous almost finished jumper was the gauge swatch, and now I'm re-knitting it. But anyway, I love knitting, so I don't complain. It's all good. It will soon be finished, and it's just round. I actually brought it to it was called Knitting at the Cinema on Tuesday night. We watched the movie called Better Man, so it's about Robbie Williams' life and his struggles. He certainly have had something to deal with, demons and stuff. A very good movie. I can recommend watching it. Beautiful music, and also a look into his mental state and his psychology. So and I knit actually from here. I had put in a marker here down to here in the half darkness of the cinema or the movie theater. So it's pretty good when it's just round. Yeah, happy with that. So that will keep me busy for the weekend coming, and maybe a few days into next week as well. In the last video I also talked about a jumper I wanted to knit for my daughter, but where the stitch patterns of, it's called blackberry stitches, with on every second row there are purl 3 together, and it was just too hard for my hands and my shoulders. So we looked for an alternative jumper that she liked and that I could knit up instead. But we have decided to continue with the Isla sweater, which is designed by Lene Holme Samsø. And it is published in her book called Heather Hill. It might also be available as a single pattern, I'm not aware. In that case, you would look up leknit.dk, that's her website. Instead of the blackberry stitches, we chose, or I suggested, to use double moss stitches instead. And although my daughter said it's not as neat as those blackberry stitches, she accepted, and I can continue knitting this Isla jumper with its beautiful cables on either side, and then have that, well, it's not the same but similar texture on the centerpiece and also on the sleeves. So this is how far I've come. It is worked in, let me just get it, in 2 strands held together, and it is the Coast by Supersoft, no, Coast yarn by Holst. So this is in colorway Dove, and here we have the Titicaca, that's the other strand, and it is in colorway Ecru. So I'm holding these 2 together, and it gives a nice and warm but still off-white creamy color. Yeah, so a fair bit to do, but it's nice to work on this once in a while when I just want something lighter to work on. This is and something different where it's not just round and round and round. So those are actually the only 2 projects that I'm working on at the moment. So 2 sweaters. Yeah. No, that's not true. Well, it is. Because there is also a finished object, and that is a little scarf that I have knitted up over the holiday season. I can show you the first go, which is not perfect, and I had to unravel because I made some mistakes. And when I've shown you that, I will insert a picture of the finished scarf because it's been gifted. So I can't show you the real thing. Here we have the start of the shawl, but I wanted to put in some texture. So I've created this, it's a 1x1 rib and some eyelets in here. I have written it up as a pattern, and it will be called Celosia, Celosia scarf, and soon it will be ready for testing. So I'll just need a couple of you who might be interested in testing and knitting it, and I will publish that on Instagram. So keep your eyes peeled for that if that is something you would be interested in. I used the Mayflower 100% cashmere yarn. I have the ball band just right here. It is difficult for it to focus the camera, but anyway, it is Mayflower premium cashmere, 100% cashmere, and it is a 125 meter, 136 yards per 25 grams. So each ball is 25 grams. Recommended needle size 3.5 millimeter. No, 3 to 4 US, it says here. And this color, this beautiful vibrant color, is number 05. I can't even see it on the screen, so sorry about that. Color 05 in this beautiful orangey red. I have used, or I bought 2 balls, and this is what is left of the 2 balls. It weighs approximately 33 grams, and I've just knitted it with 1 strand and used a needle size 3 millimeters, so a 2.5 US. So this Celosia has been gifted to my oldest son girlfriend. She has, well, I noticed she had a bag in a red color like this, and I thought I wanted to find something that could match that handbag. And now you will see the finished object. And I actually very much like that red color. Not my typical part of the color wheel, let's put it that way, but I feel that I need maybe something similar in my wardrobe. I'm very happy with it. It's super soft, as cashmere is. Of course you can use any other yarn, a fingering weight yarn. The gauge is quite small in the pattern, and as it is a 1x1 ribbing, I can't actually remember the gauge as I am recording here, but you would see it in the pattern when it is ready, and if you wish to test it. Hopefully it will be within a fortnight that the testing is ready, or maybe even before. So the Celosia scarf is a new design coming very soon. So that was basically the only finished object I had today. So all good on the knitting front. I had the utmost pleasure of attending a Danish knitting podcaster get together in north of Jutland, where Charlotte Horslev at Horslev Strik and Henriette from Bajkilrik invited Danish podcasters to meet in the shop for an afternoon of knitting and chatting and eating pizza and coffee and cake, which was an absolute joy. And I got to meet a lot of my Danish podcasting colleagues, and I'm so happy to have met you. If you're watching here, some of them were well known and some were very new. So that was an amazing day. Of course, the camera stayed in the bag, so I didn't get any footage of the day. But what I did get was some very good memories, of course, some hearty chats, and some connections and new friends. And I also bought a bit of yarn. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Henriette had a sale on these yarns, so mode at Rowan, which is an alpaca haze. This one is, so it is a brushed alpaca. I'm just trying to find a strand that I can show you, like here. And there's 25 grams in this, and it runs 212 meters, 233 yards. So it's similar to a silk mohair, but of course it's not mohair. Let me just see if I can find any color numbers. Shade 013, so 013. Everyday luxury alpaca haze, beautiful. And recommended needle size is 3.25 millimeters to a 5 millimeters, which is a 3 to 8 US needle. I got 10 balls. No plans whatsoever, but I thought the offer was too good to pass by, and I thought maybe to put in a blanket as the common thread through, or in a sweater as a second thread held with something, or on its own held double. I don't know, but it's soft and delicious and just very fluffy and nice. So yeah, that was my new addition to my yarn collection. And it will stay in the collection for a while, as we know. So that is new purchases. And then today, if we talk about not new things, but still knitting related, I went to the local library here. And there are many knitting books there to borrow. So I brought home these 3. Knitting for Olive, many of you would know this one, Knitting for Olive, their masterpiece of the story behind the yarn. and the different patterns. I would like to try the puff tee, which is knitted in 2 strands of silk mohair held together. But that is from the library, so that will I will enjoy looking through that. And then there are 2 of Susie Haumann's books, knitting books. I have some of hers already. I'm knitted from her book called Blue Tones. And again, these are very simple, timeless garments. And this one in particular knit for winter. And they are again not new. This one is from 2022, published then. This one here, as you can see, very, very simple, with some ribbing details here on the top and split hem and ribbing details, and a combination of a black and a blue mohair. Well, not 2 mohairs, it's Isla twinny, the black and then a silk mohair. No, it's 2 blues held together, actually, this one. Yeah, Klosterport. Yeah, really like that one. I don't think her books are translated to English. There might be some individual patterns that you can find on Ravelry at Susie Haumann. Then this is actually not Susie Haumann. This is Lene Holme Samsø, and it's called Mulm og Mørke, which is called, well, translated is very dark. I don't know how you translate mulm. This has a lot of beautiful garments as well. It is a bit difficult to see them because it is, as the title says, dark jumpers. Here it is there is a bit of green mohair in it, and then it has these cables down the raglan and down the sides. Beautiful. I think these designs in here are also made for Isla yarn. And now I wanted to show you one that I really, really like. And this is again I don't know whether you can see that there are some pearl columns down the front and down the sort of the chest piece, and also from the bottom and up. And again, this black blue. Now, just send me more time and I'll get them done. Well, actually, time is probably the only thing that I have plenty of. Well, not plenty, but if we move on to live stuff, and hang on if you want to hear a bit of update of what is happening for me. If not, I thank you for the time you spent with me today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share, and put on the notifications so you know when there's a new video coming up on the channel. That will help me a lot. And for live stuff, so I have of course arrived in Denmark. I've been here a month now. I'm still enjoying myself. I absolutely love the chill in the air. And I've talked about it before, when you go out and you just feel that freshness on your cheek and get back inside and it's nice and warm. I love wearing all my woolen jumpers, or, well, not all, because I only have a few. I still just have my 2 suitcases of stuff. My home is still in transit, and I expect it to arrive early March. So the next few podcasts I will wear the same. I will wear the same clothes if I don't get to manage to knit up some new outfits. Let's see. But I'm staying here at my brother's place, really enjoying it, and I'm reconnecting with a lot of old friends because when we lived here, before we moved in 2012, we lived in Birkerød, which is just 5-6 kilometers from here. So I have a lot of connections and friendships. And on Wednesday night last week, I went to a Open Voices, which is a local choir where you just come, you just join and you sing. And there I met 3 of my very good friends from when I lived here before, and that was just amazing and very touching, and it felt really good. And how I spent my time is mostly applying for jobs, of course, writing job applications. I've been to one interview that where I wasn't successful, but just onwards and upwards. It's a good experience, and I'm still optimistic, and I will continue to be optimistic. I try to focus on what is in my control, which is applying for jobs. It is to treating myself well with daily walks, plenty of coffee, plenty of knitting, and good food here, and then also writing up new patterns and talking to you and working on my lovely passion for knitting. If you are new here and you haven't heard anything about what is she talking about, go back some videos, and you would see that I've recently moved from Australia back to Denmark. And I'm really enjoying it here. And also, I want to thank you all for the lovely comments that you continue to send through after each video, and I just love hearing from all across the globe what you're working on, what your life situation is, what is on your mind at the moment. The support that you have shown me is exceptional. I feel truly blessed, and I'm very grateful for having you around, and that you continue to tune in on the Mindful Making YouTube channel. With that, I will say goodbye and wish you happy knitting, and that you also make the most of everything that you are in control of. We can't control everything, so let that be, and let's focus on what is something we can do something about. That's all from me now. Bye.